And on your election headquarters, NDC flag bearer hopeful Dr. Kwabena Duffour is demanding postponement of the May 13 primaries, citing failure of the party to provide an accurate register of voters with barely a week to the polls. A statement signed by his campaign team alleges several discrepancies have been identified in the photo album made available by the party. They therefore want the polls on hold while the party works on a roadmap towards securing a credible register. Well, I've been joined by Mustafa. Right, so I'll be joined by Mustafa Gbande, who is the Deputy Secretary of the NDC, to speak to the issues. But this is excerpts of the letter that was issued by the team for Dr. Duffour, and these are their demands. One, postponement of the presidential primaries from May 13, stakeholders meeting to establish an agreeable roadmap that will guarantee the integrity of the voters register. 3, clean voters register within an agreeable time frame to ensure free and fair elections and to save the image of the NDC so that the party can have the credible voice to speak on the national elections matters when the need arises. Let's now speak with Mustafa Gbande. He is the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. Grateful for your time. First, have these concerns come to your attention or the attention of the party?
Thank you very much, Aja, for having me. Yes, we have received a letter reported to be coming from Dr. Kwabena Duffour, signed by one Kukubo, and which he made several allegations and etc. Now, what is important to state is that the party, as in the headquarters, which is the returning of supervising this election, have provided delegate list for all aspirants over a month ago. Now, what we are compiling is an additional mechanism for very transparent elections. And so in this album, you will find people's, voter registration data, you will find pictures, so that we reduce the issues of impersonation and all of that. Dr. Kwabena Duffour's camp have received this information. They've received about 240 constituencies. And so if they have any issues, I believe that those issues will be raised and will be addressed by the elections committee. Beyond that, I don't foresee anything crucial that will make us postpone an election. There have been some level of inconsistency from that camp, particularly when it is required by the guidelines that in every process through this election, all candidates are required to bring representatives. There have been cases where there are reps from this campaign team and then similar members from the campaign team are calling on the same information, giving them a delegate list. We had calls from other quarters of the same camp requesting for the same thing without even knowing that their colleagues have taken custody of such information. We're printing ballot boxes. They had reps in the printing room, but we got calls from the same camp asking when we'll be printing ballot boxes. So clearly, there is no information sharing in that camp, and that cannot be our responsibility. But what is more important is that we are existing to address issues that will be raised by aspirants, and we don't think that these are some of the issues that can cause a postponement of elections, except if one wants to drive mischief. That the party is resolved.
Invited the Dr. Duffour's team to actually explain this to them after this their demands. And are you also considering the demand that you postpone the polls from May 13?
There is nothing that has stated that there is no problem to suggest that election should be postponed. And the letter that has been written and the allegations raised in those letters, in one breath, they have claimed that they have analyzed over 3,800 polling stations. We don't have 3,800 polling stations for the purposes of this election. We want to believe that they have made some errors on their part, and that if we will meet them and, state these issues clearly, and then address the challenges if they are germane to the election. But beyond that, and the processes that we have put in place, very confident of these processes, transparent enough to offer a credible internal election, we don't think that there's any problem that will lead to postponement of elections. So that suggestion is a welcoming one, but we don't think that's something that will fly.
Mr. Kwabena, I'm grateful for your time. He's Deputy General Secretary of the NDC.